Good afternoon, everyone. This is Nidhi Singh from NRI Legal Services once again, coming to you with the final part of the third in the series of what we've done previously, which is things you must know before you sell your property in India. I've done the two parts. There was a gap of 2 weeks, and because I was traveling, I was trying very hard to record this, to finish those series, but sorry, I couldn't. But here I am now with the final version of things you must know before you attempt or are attempting to sell the property in India. I will quickly recap for those of you who were not there for the previous two parts and who haven't seen. I would highly recommend that you see those. They are still available online, but those who haven't, I would recap once again the main points, the highlights of those two parts. My first suggestion was that whenever you sell your property in India, you must sell it through a professional lawyer. Do not only depend on real estate brokers. The reason was very simple. There are a lot of compliances to look at now, and real estate brokers somehow overlook very vital facts which can cause you a lot of inconvenience, a lot of distress when you are attempting to complete the formalities or repatriating that money back to the country where you reside, which is outside India. At that point, there are a whole lot of documentations that are needed, and if they are not completed at the time when you were transacting your property or when you were selling the property, the issues are pretty serious. Secondly, a lot of issues arise when a person who has innocently sold the property and has not done the proper documentation. He goes through a lot of penalties that can be levied on him because he hasn't paid his capital gains tax, he hasn't calculated that correctly, or he hasn't complied with some other requirement which the banks need now or the income tax departments need now. All of these are very important points. So always hire a professional. My second suggestion was that you must give a specific power of attorney for sale if you are giving a power of attorney to sell. And if a power of attorney is being given because you cannot be personally present, then you must make sure a registered sale deed does take place, because you are liable till the very last to that agent even after you've sold that property. A lot of cases are coming where people have gotten into a mess because they had given a power of attorney, and a court case or any challenge to that sale, if it has occurred, then you are fully liable. Just because you sold the property, it doesn't mean that you are out of it. So a registered sale deed which actually says that the property is now belonging to the next party, whoever you've sold to, is a very important document. So do not rely on power of attorney only. My third suggestion was that you must have all the documents like source of funds from when you purchase the property. That can actually be very helpful for you to index the properties for the calculation of capital gain and all of that. So proper documentation right from the time when you started till the end is very important. So these were the points that I've covered, and today's episode is on sharing that knowledge with you that I feel that anybody attempting to sell a residential property or a commercial property with a developer should know. So the problem will be highlighted through a live case that we have recently handled, and that live case, I will tell you the entire transaction, how it happened, and in fact, if you can guess, then you guess as to what went wrong where and why this person actually got into a spot, which actually on the face of it looked like a perfectly normal transaction. So a gentleman from the US buys a property in Gurgaon through a very well-known developer. So उसने एक 3 बेडरूम का फ्लैट खरीदा. डेवलपर ने ही उसको आगे अपने लिंक्स के थ्रू एक प्राइवेट बैंक के साथ टाई अप कराया. Private bank के through, this man actually took up a loan to buy this property. The loan was sanctioned. The papers were all checked, due diligence was done both on the developer and the project and the credit rating of this person, and it all went through glitch free. This man started paying his installments, started using his property, and there, after some time, came a point when he wanted to sell. Now, at that time he wanted to sell, he again went back to that developer. जैसे कि होता है कि जब भी आप कोई प्रॉपर्टी खरीदना चाहते हो जो एक बिल्डिंग में है या एक डेवलपर के थ्रू खरीदी होती है, तो आप नॉर्मली उस डेवलपर के पास जाके बोलते हो कि भाई मुझे अब बेचनी है. सो उस पॉइंट पे डेवलपर फिर इन्वॉल्व हुआ. नॉर्मली इन डेवलपर्स के पास लोग होते हैं जो प्रॉपर्टीज़ बाय करना चाहते हैं और यही वो प्रॉपर्टीज़ को रीसेल कराते हैं. These developers have a society within every project, and likewise the developer even helped him find a buyer. So everything was perfect. The property was all made, it was smooth, loan bhi mila hua tha, so all the paperwork was done. So when this buyer was about to sell the property and actually sold the property to this seller who was found out by the developer, the entire transaction was done by the developer himself. So hota kya hai कि when you buy and sell within a registered within a developing society or through a developer, तो वो जो paperwork है वो developer ही करता है. So the entire paperwork is done by this developer. They charge you a fee, a percentage, a small percentage, and on charging the percentage, the title deeds of this flat was transferred to in the seller's name in the accounts in the register of the developer. The title deeds were actually transferred, or the new seller came in the place of the buyer. The seller, the gentleman, got the money. He paid his balance installments to the bank. The bank helped him deposit the entire money, the rest of the money, in his NRO account, जो कि होता है जैसे होता है NRO account में वो पैसा जमा हो गया. उस वक़्त जब पैसा वो deposit करा रहे थे, when they were depositing the funds, at that time they saw the paperwork. It was a genuinely sold property, and all the transaction was verified. The bank who had given the loan, the account, the NRO account was also in that bank, so there was absolutely no problem, and the money was deposited. Now, after the whole transaction was completed, this man is actually thinking he has sold the property, everything is settled, the loan is paid off, he has got the money in his bank, and now comes the time when he wanted to repatriate the funds back to the US. A lot of the deposit initially had also come from the US, so he thought that he would be taking away whatever capital gain and all he had to pay. He would pay that, whatever compliances he had to make, he would be able to do that, and he would want to repatriate the money like anybody would, and he started this process. Now, to his utter shock, when he was trying to repatriate, a simple question was asked. There is a very clear RBI guideline. RBI, as most of you must know, but as I know that some people don't know, is the Reserve Bank of India, is the apex financial institution, an apex body which manages the international transfers of money, and actually is a regulatory body, financial regulatory body in India, RBI, Reserve Bank of India. So the Reserve Bank of India has very clear guidelines now. The guidelines are that whenever you are to repatriate money which you say is through a sale of the property, there has to be one document which is called the registered sale deed. Registered sale deed is a document which we are all aware of, which is that you give a stamp duty whenever a seller a seller sells and a buyer buys a property. He has to pay a stamp duty. That stamp duty actually goes to the government. Now, in normal sales, let's say जहाँ ये developers नहीं होते, हम normal किसी plot को खरीद रहे हैं या कोई आम घर खरीद रहे हैं, तो सबको पता है कि registered sale deed होनी है. होता क्या है? The problem arises when you have a property within a community, within a building, with a developer. The norm is that these properties keep shifting hand in the developer's register books. The developer keeps charging you a fee, like this gentleman was charged, and he keeps transferring the sale, he keeps completing the sale, and the money is paid on the basis of the name being changed in the in the developer's register books. So on the basis of that, sales happen from one hand to the other, and this is the general norm. Now, till the point money went into the bank, पैसा बैंक में चला गया, तब तक कोई problem नहीं आई. Whatever they showed, the banks accepted, because it is a norm that when money is coming in, even though the banks strictly have to govern and verify each document, but sometimes these are overlooked because of any number of reasons. These developers have contacts with the banks. The bank को उसका loan वापस मिल रहा था, जो भी balance amount थी. He was happy to do the transaction. The developer was happy to do the transaction because developer को भी पैसे आ रहे थे, कुछ percentage उसको भी मिल रही थी. So everything was fine. So till that time there was no problem. Now when he was just going to repatriate, the RBI guidelines, they said, please produce the registered sale deed. Because there was no registered sale deed, when this person actually went to get his file completed, there are like a lot of documents. Registered sale deed is one of them. He could manage all of them, but because this sale deed was not there, he got into a problem for repatriation. The banks clearly said at that time that neither at the time when you purchased the property there was any sale deed, nor at the time of now that you've sold the property there was any sale deed. Everything was done internally with the developer and the bank, and this transaction now is invalid for us to release the money or repatriate it to a foreign location. Had he been in India, he would have parked it in his residential account, जो Indian residents का होता है, वहाँ पे वो park कर लेता, उसको कोई problem नहीं आती, वो निकाल लेता पैसा. Problem कहाँ आई? Problem सिर्फ आई कि आप ये पैसा देश से बाहर लेके जा रहे हो. So आप समझे कि ये ही norm है, लेकिन ये norm normal residents को या Indian residents को affect ही नहीं करता. बिकॉज यही वे से वो करते रहते हैं, और पैसा क्योंकि इंडिया में ही रहना होता है, सो ये एक क्लेवर तरीका है कि स्टैम्प ड्यूटी इवेड हो जाती है, थोड़ा सा पैसा डेवलपर लेता है और नाम बदल जाता है. लेकिन आप लोगों को जो इंडिया से बाहर रहते हैं और इंडिया में प्रॉपर्टीज खरीदते हैं, they should definitely know that when you buy in India, you have to make sure that on buying there is a registered sale deed and on selling there is a registered deed. Yes, आपको लोन मिल गया, सब कुछ हो गया. वो क्यों मिला? क्योंकि डेवलपर्स ये बहुत रिनाउंड होते हैं और बैंक्स के पास लोन देने के लिए दे आर फ्लश्ड विद फंड्स और इनके लिंक्स होते हैं, एंड दीज लिटिल थिंग्स आर ओवरलुक्ड एंड no one is paying anything extra. Everything is happening glitch free. You try to trust. You trust an institution like a bank. Yes, you do. You trust a big name as a developer. Yes, you do. And you feel everything is fine. And everything is fine if you have to keep this money in India. It is only when you're taking this money out that you will be accused of evasion of stamp duty. Government will not allow the funds to go till they know their stamp duty is paid. ये छोटा सा ये मसला है. So this gentleman, innocently, even after doing a transaction which was absolutely above board, clean and happy, was not able to take the money outside. Now, what does he do? There is no way that this money out of this sale it will go. Probably he can now with that money buy a property in India again. Then he does a registered sale deed, or I can think that at the time of the sale he can, and then he sells that property whenever it is sold, but then sells that property and then does a registered sale deed, which then completes his file along with a whole lot of other documents that I've just told you that you need in place in a file to repatriate it back. And any of these documents, by the way, if they get missed, then you are in a soup again. So all compliances, all documents at the time when you are repatriating the funds from bank to the bank, even in spite of the fact कि आप वो पैसा बाहर से ही लाएं. बहुत सारे लोग मुझे मिलते हैं और कहते हैं कि हमने पैसा बाहर से लेके आए. अगर आप वो पैसा बाहर से भी लेके आए हैं, ले जाने के वक्त आपको बताना पड़ेगा कि ये पैसा आपने कैसे बेचा, किसको, कैसे आपने प्रॉपर्टी बेची, रजिस्टर्ड सेल डीड क्या हुई, स्टैम्प ड्यूटी उस पर पे हुई कि नहीं. ये बात most of the people को पता नहीं है. And this is the information that I feel everybody should know, that please buy and sell properties, residential flats or commercial, through registered sale deeds. Otherwise, funds will get stuck in India. So for those who are attempting to sell, whether it's a residential property outside investor, or it's a plot of land, or it's agriculture property, or it is property with the real estate developer, we've done these series of 3 FB videos live on each one of them. Things that you must know when you sell the property so that you do not get stuck anywhere. I have shared the maximum information. In case you feel there are still questions that you guys would like to ask, we are very, very happy to help you with that. You can write to us through our Facebook if you're linked with us or you're connected with us on the Facebook. Our website nrilegalservices.com is very responsive to inquiries, and all inquiries are responded free of charge. You can ask your questions and get clarifications. Please, if you've liked this video of mine, do share. We are on YouTube also. Subscribe to videos so that I feel encouraged to do this more often and I can share more information. A lot of people have responded to us and they have liked our videos. To them I would say thank you. I feel motivated and I feel encouraged to help people more understand how they can actually not get into a real problem while purchasing or selling property in India. Next time I'm planning to do, I'm going to be getting a guest who is an expert on GST, which is Goods and Services Tax, which has just been launched in India. It is a pan-India tax. It's a central tax which is now been enforced from 1st of July. There are a lot of people who need to understand how it will impact non-resident Indians and what is the general impact of this tax. This should be our next topic, and I'd be airing it live next Saturday. Do log on, do subscribe and do watch. Thank you.